Alright, so if you've ever wondered how to become a freelancer and actually get hired, and so far you've picked your industry, you really know the one that you want to already move into because you've already watched this video. Today we're going to be showing you exactly how to create the list that you're going to be reaching out to these people at, and how you're going to speak to them, and basically how you find these people and how you gather the people that might actually end up being your clients one day, to specifically get the leads that you're looking for, to get the deserved payments and deserved income that you want to make and charge what you're worth. So let's get into it in this video. What's up, my friend, and welcome back. It's Evan from Motive in Motion. Today we're going to be showing you the exact way to compile a list of potential leads and prospects, really, that you're going to be reaching out to, that will eventually become your best friends and your clients and your business partners, because the people that you're talking to will be the ones that you are landing business from, right? So you've already picked your industry, you already picked your niche, you know who you want to work with, and you know how you're going to land them, right, a little bit. But you're going to be starting to craft this initial list, which is the most powerful thing that you have at this moment, to go outreach and to go talk to people and go get in the market and pitch your services and products and see how you can do well with your process of your sales. And so if you haven't already checked these videos, you're going to want to check this in the corner, because what I got here in these cards is the long video of the 5-step formula, basically about how to land new clients as a brand new copywriter or a consultant or designer or developer, and basically any freelance consultant or freelancer, how to get hired and what to do. And this is a whole hour taking you through all the 5 steps. And so each videos will be broken down, each topic for one video will be broken down out to each one of them, and I'm going to be sharing that with everyone in this series, because basically I'm going to be dripping them like once per week. And so you can click that to check that out. But each one is going to be very specific, and I give you the one insight from each of the 5 steps. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. But otherwise, let's get into the content. And if you like this content, make sure that you smash and obliterate the like button below. Give it a thumbs up for this video if you think this content is valuable, and then of course smash the subscribe and the notification buttons, because you can be notified the first second that I drop a video, and no sooner, no later, because you don't want to just be on the list and not know what's going on and not actually be notified when the rest of the series comes out, along with all the others that you can check in this card. So without further ado, I'm Evan, once again from Motive in Motion. I make videos about copywriting, consulting, freelancing, and how to get what you're worth as a direct response copywriter and freelancer. So let's crack into this video, and we'll start with the 5 steps. With number 1, we've already covered how to pick your industry. Number 2 is now we're going to figure out how to build your initial list. So basically, when you're building your list, you have 2 major things that I want to cover today, all right? So it's not that difficult. You've already got your industry, you've already chosen who you want to serve, and you know that you're going to pick real estate and brokers, or you're going to pick finance and personal credit, or you're going to pick like e-commerce and a little sub niche of e-commerce like supplements, or workout gear, or headphones, or whatever it may be, right? And what I mean by this is not the product you're selling, but the people that you're going to be pitching on your services for freelancing, right? So maybe you're really good at SEO. Maybe you're really good at design, or you want to learn design. Maybe you want to be a copywriter, right? Whatever it is, you're choosing your freelance skill. That should have already come first. We can talk about that in other videos and whatnot if you'd like. But essentially, you've already got your skill set, or what you want to do, what you're interested in. Maybe it's copy, SEO, design, development, whatever it may be. But this is the time to pick your list, bring it together, make sure it's sharp and dialed, because it's actually a targeted list of people that are relevant in this industry. And you've already picked your industry, so it's time to roll with the people that you want to get into the market with, right? This is how you sell. This is how you start it up. This is how you start pitching. This is how you start making friends and relationships and build rapport and goodwill in the market, because you don't want to be annoying. You don't want to just hit a bunch of random people up with stuff that they don't care about, and you don't want to just fire from the shotgun approach, where you're just firing for the hip and trying to aim at anyone and be like, please, whoever has money, give it to me. That's not really how this thing works. So obviously you've already got your industry, and you got your sub industry like we talked about in this video here, which is in the card. And again, if it's not up there, well, I'm already dropped this video number 2, so number 1 definitely will be up there, and number 3, 4, 5 will be to follow. And if you can't wait for those, just click the longer video in there, it's like almost an hour, where we cover all 5 steps, and you can check those all up in the card. So yeah, like I said, essentially there's 2 major things, right? So The first major step is that you need to figure out a list that is targeted and actually start putting names together. But before you do that, you really need to figure out the person you're targeting, what they need, what they want, and who you're specifically going to be speaking to in terms of decision makers. You need to figure out the actual list and like what the businesses are doing and who they're serving and who their market is, right? So you can know how to help them. And then also like what their revenue is, but roughly what their firm size is, how many employees and whatnot, and their kind of structure, are they private company, are they public, are they a startup, like where are they in their growth stages, and how can you put that together? So that's what we're going to crack into this step one. Step two is going to be basically, actually doing the list and putting the actual work together and how to do it in a spreadsheet. And I'll show you like basically how to do that. And then later on getting it outsourced to someone else, because it's not the most valuable use of your time, especially if you're going to be pitching and selling and closing and delivering. So step one, let's get into that right now about how to actually do this and choose who you're targeting. So there's several different ways to choose who you're going to be targeting, but essentially you want to go from top down, right? You want to go from broad to specific. So if we're going to do the real estate broker continuation and that example, right, we can do that because I've been managing these in all these videos. Basically, we've been developing that concept. So let's just roll with it here, right? We got the real estate as the industry, serving brokers as a sub niche because it's most important to get very strategized and specialized rather than just being underpaid as a super generalist who can market their services as doing anything, right? So you're already going to go with brokers, that. You're already in the industry of real estate, that. And it's really you're at that stage that you're trying to pick how you're going to serve these people the best. So if you're just starting out, what I would recommend is you start out with the bottom level of these real estate brokers in terms of people who have a little bit of success and have some momentum, but they're not doing like $1 million a year or more, all right? And they're not working for some huge development firm and whatnot who's already like making their properties and whatnot. You're not super entrenched in the niche, and neither are they. So it's a good time to kind of grow together and start helping them with what you can actually do. And then of course you're getting paid to learn here. So you do want to like actually show up as a professional, have a good website going, have a nice, like whatever it is, nice headshots, good copy, good messaging, like have your structured offer at least. And if you're not having those things, then nobody's going to really take you seriously. So take a little time to make your LinkedIn profile nice, or your YouTube or whatever, or maybe it's your website, whatever your asset is where you're going to be sending people back to. You want to have a nice polished asset that actually looks clean and it looks like you know what you're doing, with good imagery, good branding, good copy, things like that. So you actually look like a professional and you're ready to roll. People don't just like roll over you and say like you're not even prepared, you're not ready, right? You don't want people to do that. You don't want to spend all this time crafting a list and an offer and messaging and like trying to target and like the summoning up the gumption to actually hit up strangers and random people and pitch them your services, all to have it just crumble in front of your face because you don't set your stuff up right? So that is the most important part, right? So you really need to actually figure out who you're speaking with, because you want to say like, okay, if I'm a real estate broker and I'm an agent or a consultant for those people, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the people who are maybe doing, I don't know, 50 to 100 grand a year. They're not really selling a whole bunch of homes, and they're not super high value homes like $1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. They might be in the middle class range, like upper middle class, 500, 600K, and the broker might get whatever, I don't know, 10, 20% off that. Like I'm not in this niche as well, so I've worked in the real estate niches, but I've never served specifically like brokers or whatnot. I'm just going with this example because it's an easy one to say if you're going to pick up like SEO targets for these people in like Chicago or something, right? You're going to help brokers rank better in Chicago on SEO for on the Google search engine result pages, the SERPs. That will be a good place to start at maybe middle to upper class homes in residential areas. And I don't know the specifics about the actual percentages of what they make, but again, you would know that, and that would be something that you research and something that you are very entrenched in with that niche by your research, because you know what you're talking about. So like, again, another thing is like prepare before you just start reaching out to these people, right? But you're at the stage now where you're going to actually figure out who you are targeting. So you're researching these people. You're researching their commissions and what they're looking for in life and business, and how like where they want to go and what their big struggles are and the sticking points in their businesses are, and how they can get to the next level and how you can help them with that, right? And how your services tie into like the next level of their business and their goals, right? So that's the most important part, because really you can't sell people if you don't know where they're going and if you don't know what they want. So this is the most important part to figuring out how to help other people. So let's say you got the brokers, they're making about 80 to 100K a year, and that's like one of your prerequisites for them, and you're going to be basically weeding out the people who are making more than that or less than that. So people who are not doing super great, like they're just getting started, maybe you're going to start a little bit higher, like you have to be making at least 50K to work with us, blah blah blah. And like that helps with your positioning as well and qualifying your sales leads as well. And also it's much easier to sell people who actually have money to spend because they're doing okay, but they want to take their thing to the next level. It's hard to get people to buy things when they're not even like validated in the market and they not have that experience yet, right? So that's what I would say, is start there and then say, okay, maybe you have a couple other people that are working under them. So, we cap it at like 3 to 5 employees. We don't want to work with bigger firms or whatever. You can say in your messaging, like, I serve this person and that person, this type of broker doing around this many sales per year. Maybe in that level, if you're doing 10% or whatever at 100 grand, maybe you're getting 10K and you're selling like 10 homes a year, something like that, right? And you start talking to these people like in your messaging and maybe on your website about who you serve. And maybe in your footer, you talk about like, some results you've had for people or some testimonials and things like that from other clients. Or if you don't have that yet, that's okay. Like you can maybe put a link where people can get more information on you. But that's what you're doing when you're in this first step, right? You're qualifying, you're targeting, you're researching, and you're focusing on who you are speaking to and how you can serve them best. So that's really what we got for step number 1. Step number 2, we're going to move on to this right now in a second, but you are going to be compiling the list, right? So before we move on to that, let me just say that, like I said, you can check all those videos up in the card, and I'm going to be having, number 3, 4, and 5 coming out after this as well for each breakdown video. And then the number 1 video, like I said, the 5 steps was like an hour. It's very long form, but it is very in-depth, so you can go through all of the program for basically the 5 steps of like how to actually get hired as a freelancer. So you can check all that out right now. So if you're liking this content, you think it's valuable, go ahead and smash a like, drop me a like on the below. I really appreciate that. Helps for the algorithm, of course, so more people can see this and I can come out with more videos similar to this. And also smash the like button, or I just said that, so smash it again even if you didn't smash it. And if you don't like this content, all you got to do is go below and smash the dislike button 2 times, and that's okay too. It's up to you really, but also figure out how to smash the subscribe button so you can get notified with a little bell so you can be the first one to know when I drop a new video. I don't want you missing anything of these 5 steps theories. So for number 2, this is getting into actually how we target the list and how we build it up physically, like how we use the spreadsheet and get into that and make sure that we got enough names on the list that are relevant and actually a pipeline for our long-term lead list and are the ones that we are looking to land as clients. For number 2, this can be a little bit intimidating if you've never done it before, but it's really not much to it, right? You're putting names on a list. So you're putting names in a spreadsheet and making sure you track them with their name, their company, the position they have at the company, and their website, and that's about it, And then after that, you're going to be showing each contact point that you have, or number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what happened and the date and how that went and what you're going to do in the future for that. And so I'm going to obscure some of the details so I can save private client information and prospect information here, but I am going to show you on the screen like literally what my own prospecting sheet looks like. And I can show you exactly the video of like scrolling through how that looks for the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th contact and whatnot, because I am contacting these people on a long follow-up, and I have, green, yellow, and red coding. So I make sure that like, okay, this went well, or this got unsubscribed and I have to move them onto this list, or this is a yellow, meaning like we're gonna follow up later because they said, a lot of people will put you off and say like, okay, yeah, how about you hit me up in a couple weeks? And you're like, okay, well, I will. Like for me, I'm like, I definitely will do that. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a no, like this sucks, like whatever. No, like the money is in the follow up, and you do need to know that if you're doing direct sales and if you're looking to close people as a freelancer and get hired for, especially for your first job. And we're going to talk about that later because you do need to offer your first jobs for like discounted rates, or do one job for free, get a testimonial, and then move on to your next paid job and keep ratcheting up the price as you ratchet up your skills. And we'll talk about that on landing clients and whatnot when we get more into that. But for the second step here of the second video, basically of the topic of making your list, I will show you what you need to do. And it's really simple because this is actually the easier part. The harder part is when you get the guts to like actually, hit up 100 people in a day or more than that, and you want to show them who you are and tell them about how you can serve them and whatnot, and you're focused on them and you're willing to like push through rejection and take punches to the chin and just keep moving. And because you actually getting a lot of no's, you're getting a lot of like go-aways. You know, you're getting a lot of no thanks, we're not interested. You're getting a lot of like, yeah, we'll talk to you later maybe, and it never happens. Like, this is a rejection game. This is a numbers game. This is sales. We're talking business here. Like, this is what you need to do to push through and keep going with this. And you got to actually remember that you need to have the skin in the game, but your skin also needs to be thick so you can keep moving and moving and moving. And over my career, like short career, 5 or 6 years, I've only been at this copy thing for 5 or 6 years. But in the last year or two, I've sent thousands, like probably tens of thousands, but I haven't tracked that high. But definitely thousands of emails, like cold emails and prospecting and sales and follow-up and closing and like hitting them up on the calendar and like getting them booked in and like getting stood up on the phone and like nobody has showed up or whatever on that week, or getting discouraged and going back to the drawing board and like keep pushing through and then get a bunch of no's or get like angry responses or replies to my email that are just like, we're not interested in right now, blah blah blah, or like please take me off the list, or like stop calling me, stop emailing me, whatever. Even if I'm not like pushy and annoying and whatever, I'm just literally going out into the market trying to add value, trying to shoot to people that would be relevant to my space, trying to serve them with copy needs, and also trying to like take the focus off of me just direct selling the crap out of them and like, them hating me. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just literally going out to the market and pushing through it and trying to help people. And this is what happens to you as well. So you need to remember you have thick skin in this game, and you are actually creating a list that is going to be your prospects, your valuable, your money list. Your value is there, right? This is your tangible asset for your business right now. So for this spreadsheet that you're making that I showed you on the screen earlier, like this is what you need to do, and this is the easy part. So don't get tripped up here. When you're building the list, you're compiling the names, the emails, obviously their emails that you're hitting them up with, like their email address, the position in the company, like I said, their company, of course, their email domain, so the actual domain for the site, so you can get some more information background on their work, right? You don't want to just be hitting up and spraying, praying, right? I told you before, no shotgun approaches on this, right? You want to go with super laser. So this is kind of how it is, but you do need to remember that this is the easiest part. So the next little caveat here is something that I see a lot of people like not focusing on, and I want to share with you as like a little pro tip here. So you need to remember that this is kind of a low value activity, and I don't mean it's useless or worthless or it just sucks. Like, it is valuable, but you doing it is low value. So you are the salesperson and the service provider and the deliverer of the services, right? Ideally, unless you have people working under you, which is even better. If they're great at it, you can sell it, they can deliver it, excellent. Then you even make more money with your time. But this pro tip here is just to remember that you can have someone outsource this like in minutes or days, because somewhere between that's like a large jump, but like you could have someone with probably 500 to 1,000 names on the list with the email decision maker of this business in like literally a day or two. Like, I've done it from freelancers, and you can just go on, Fiverr or Upwork or Freelancer or whatever. Obviously some are better than the others, and certain people are better deliverables than the others, but you do need to find good people. And if you can do this, I've done it before, you literally pay like next to nothing. You could pay $20, $50, whatever, and have overnight a lead list of like 1,000 people that are relevant to your leads, relevant to your prospects, focus on life and business, what they want to do, where they're going, and who you're serving. And you could give them the criteria, and as long as they know how to do this and scrape some data and do some research and make sure that they background check the emails and make sure that they're not bouncing, because that can negatively affect on you. But that is an easy way to get a list overnight like that you can work through over the next weeks and months as you're doing your prospecting and pipelining. So keep that in mind, keep doing that, because that, as soon as you're able to do so, you are able to get back a lot of your time focused on this, lower value, like repetitive activity that you can focus on, freeing up on sales and focus and mindset and dialing your skill set in the sales space and your services, rather than just, putting names on a list. So remember, this is not the most high value activity ever, but it is an absolute essential if you're going to be doing cold contacting, if you're going to be doing, relationship building in your industry, starting to get known, creating value for people in education and entertainment stuff, so you can take them to the next level, get them on calls, sell them, and deliver them, right? So that's really number 2, is actually putting your list together, getting a person to do it for you, and saving your time, making sure it's the most high value activity that you're doing in your business. And when you're able to do this, you're able to research, number 1, with the step of understanding who you're targeting, and then number 2, you're able to get someone to do the list for you. This becomes a very automated process, and if you do a huge list over time, you can have a lot of work done through that for weeks and months and not have to redo it again, and just focus on the sales and the deliverables and the closing. and you'll be golden. So that really wraps it up for number 2, which is making your prospect list of potential clients that will one day hire you and be giving you the money that you're looking after for the freelancing career that you want. Because this is how you do it. You go out into the market, you give them educational value for free, you follow up with them, you hit them on a sales call or a main discovery call first, and then qualify them and then get them on a sales call. You close them and you deliver the services that you're doing, whether it's SEO, copywriting like myself, whether it's doing the graphic design, developing for websites, like paid ad media, management of social media accounts, whatever you want to do, you can do it by actually going out to the market, adding value, and getting people on the phone and closing them. So I hope that was valuable for you. This is the steps, 5-step system. It's a really simple thing. It's not easy all the time, and it does take work and requires focus, but it really is a simple thing where you get people on a list, you contact them, and you do that enough times, and you get good at it, and you get your numbers working in your favor. We're going to cover those baseline targets in number 3, which is going to be up here as well. And we've already covered the overview of the 5 steps for that. But if you really want to check that video, it's a longer one. You can check it for 1 hour and just go through the whole 5 steps. And then also check number 1 for how to choose your industry and whatnot. And then follow up and be patient. These ones are going to be coming at you. But 3, 4, 5 are on the way. How to do the baseline target. Make your numbers work for you. Also make sure that you are starting to actually contact them and how to do that stuff, and then close them and deliver them on the phone. And so that is what I've got for you today. Once again, it's Evan from Motive in Motion. Subscribe for more videos like this. This is what I do all day. I'm a copywriter, direct response style, and marketing consultant, and I do this for you to give you free value and YouTube videos all day to just be able to drip once a month or so once a week. And I got months of content that I'm already stacking up in the arsenal now. So I want you to subscribe and hit that bell so you're making sure that you're notified when every new video drops. And if you like this, just smash the like button. This stuff is very valuable for the circulation. And yeah, like I said, just check those cards because I've got those videos, and there's the 5-step series on that. There's the 5-step series on how to build your email list as well from scratch. There's a 5-step series on how to write copy as a beginner, how to create emails and sales letters and ads that actually convert and bring you money by just writing words that are persuasive and storytelling. So this is what I am doing, and this is what I'm giving for you. So as soon as you're able to smash the like and subscribe and all the buttons and everything and the bells and blah, 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 that will circulate around YouTube a lot more, which helps me assert more time to these videos for you. So with that said, I am out. So thank you for staying tuned to this video. We will talk soon about more copy and how to get hired as a freelancer as well. So much love to you, and we will talk soon. Bye.